So the topic that we have to discuss today is not the most ideal or my favorite topic, but it is one that's so incredibly important. And it's one that we have come up against a handful of times this year. So we're gaining a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge around this topic, and that is estate transfers. So there's a lot to know around this topic. And if you're watching this video, it's because obviously something has happened and or you're preparing for something to happen. I just want to say that it is a very incredibly difficult process to go through emotionally. My heart goes out to anyone that has to watch this for specific reasons. I myself went through this about a year and a half ago with my family and my siblings. And again, throughout this year, we've helped half a dozen families go through this process. And there's lots to know and there's lots of really important information. So let's dive into it. So, when it comes to an estate transfer, as far as it goes with selling a real estate asset, there's a few different variations of this process that can happen. Number one, if your parents have become sick or mentally incapacitated, and there is now a power of attorney in place, being one of their children or one of their trusted friends, someone is governed or granted the permission from the government to act on behalf of that person to make the decisions they need to make to settle their estate. Now, it's very interesting because when you're talking about a power of attorney, they do have certain rights and powers and privileges that they get to enact, but those have to be very clearly detailed in the documents that are registered by a lawyer with the land titles and the government that give that person, the power of attorney, the right to sell any property that would be a part of that estate. Now, we had a situation where we had a house listed, and on the day we listed it, I got this weird spidey sense, if you will, and I sent the power of attorney that we had over to our real estate lawyer just to confirm that everything was going to be good to go, because this was the first time we had dealt with this situation. And they called me right away and said, "Hey, Derek, this person, this power of attorney, does not have the right to sell this home. There is no mention of the ability to sell real assets or real estate assets in this power of attorney. You can't sell that house. You have to pull that listing down." So we did that. We pulled it down. We got in touch with the lawyers and their parents, and eventually we got the power of attorney amended so that they did have the right to sell the home. But that could have been a huge problem if we continued down that path. Now, once the power of attorney was amended, we relisted the home and we were able to then sell it at that point in time. So that's one thing, is a power of attorney. So if you are in a situation where your parents have become sick or they're incapacitated and you're the power of attorney and you want to sell their home or you need to sell their home, it's crucial that you get together with the right attorney. And we're more than happy to send some recommendations out to you that can do this properly and make sure that there's a paragraph in the power of attorney that states that you have the ability to sell that asset or the assets, because some people have a portfolio of properties and you need to be able to sell all of them. So that is one avenue that this estate transfer can potentially go down. Another one would be an executor. This one is more on the sad side. Your parents, something has happened to your parents, they've now passed away, and you are the executor of their estate. You have the ability to sell their properties. So one thing that happens is that when the owner passes away, the process goes into what's called probate, which means that they're registering it with the government. The government is now passing on that asset from the owner to the executor. This is usually designated in a will. So the will state, my home goes to my son, Derek, who is the executor of my estate. During the probate process, which can take anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months, depending on the complexities of the state, you cannot sell that home. You do not have the right to sell that home, even if you're the executor, until the probate has been granted and the title has transferred from the former owner, who's now passed away, into your name. You can't sell that home. You have to sit and wait because it's not your home yet. So that process is very important to understand, because a lot of times people, they start grieving and they are the executor of the will. They go into action mode. They want to get things done so that they can clean this all up and keep moving with their lives, but they can't until the probate is granted. Now, once the probate is granted, if you're the executor of the estate and you're on the will and the probate is granted, you're totally okay. there is no issues at that point whatsoever. One thing to keep in mind is that when you're the executor of the estate, we have to make sure from on a real estate perspective that there's no one else that could come and contest that will. That is the purpose of the probate. So let's say you had a long lost sibling you never knew anything about. It's a highly unlikely scenario, but just to give you an example, during the probate process, if this person learns that their estranged parent has passed away and they want to be involved in the estate transfer and the will, they can challenge it. They can absolutely come out of the woodworks and challenge it. Or maybe there's a cousin, or maybe there's a friend or a sibling. Maybe your parents, maybe your uncle or aunt were very close and they want to challenge that probate. So that's one thing, that's one reason that we have to go through that process, and we can't sell that house until we have that ability. So those are two direct avenues that we deal with on a daily basis. Uh, and we have a lot of experience with it. Now, again, I understand this is a very uncomfortable topic. It's probably not going to be a very popular video, but it is something that we all need to think about at some time, because unfortunately, this is a thing that happens in our society every day. So it's best to be prepared. And we have learned so much through this process with helping all these families that we just wanted to share this information with you guys, because you not only are you going through one of the most painful things in the world, which is losing a parent, but now you have to clean up their estate, sell their assets, divide up cash amongst your siblings and the survivors and things like that. It becomes a full-time job. So having a team that has experience with this, that can help you and guide you and give you advice along the way, is going to be very valuable and beneficial for you, because you already have enough to deal with. You already have enough on your plate. And plus you're struggling with the loss of a family member. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today on estate transfers and probates and power of attorney and all that stuff. There's way, way more to it than just this video. But again, I just wanted to put this out there to give you guys some context so that you had an understanding of how this works. My name is Timmons from Maverick Group. We are a real estate team in Calgary, Alberta. We service all of Calgary and Alberta, and actually all throughout Southern Alberta. We would love to help you. If you have questions, if you have concerns, or know of anyone that's looking to buy or sell in this area, please reach out in any way that you can, whatever's most comfortable for you, whether it's a DM on social media, email us, whatever contact information we've provided at the bottom of this video, through whatever it may be. We look forward to hearing from you guys. We love hearing from you guys. We love working with you guys, and we love all the people that you've connected us with. We're so blessed to have such an amazing group of people that we now get to call our tribe and our family and our clients. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next video.